My Dress Up Darling, episode 13, season 1, episode 1. So my Dress Up Darling is finally back, and I'm really glad it's back. I really hope this is just as good as the previous season, and we dive more into how Gojo and Marion continue to grow in their relationship, and hopefully we get to see them actually be in one this season, or if not, in the next one. But this episode starts off with Gojo actually watching this anime, and he's like usual, he watches the anime that Marin wants to cosplay a character from, and he takes his notes, tries to figure out how this new, how to best go about making her new cosplay outfit. And I really like that in this one. It actually seems like this is the one we have seen Gojo be more enthusiastic about, in which he actually takes a bit more pleasure in watching this one. He finds it funny, he finds it entertaining, and he's actually talking a bit about positively about it with Marion in a way. And he he does want to know which one Marion wants to cosplay, and he thought it was gonna be the office lady, but it turns out it's actually one of the workers, the bunny girls. And that's what Marion wants to cosplay as Aisha, I think it was her name. And they get into talking about how like bunny bunny suits are in the norm, or in the rage, because they're like very popular, like they're used to advertise everything. And Go's like, oh yeah, well, that explains why I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a few times in TV being advertised with things being advertised with bunny suits and all. And now Marion actually, instead of like the previous time, she actually wants to do a proper photo shoot in a proper studio, which at first Gojo was a bit reluctant, because like last time you told me about getting a photo shoot done, we ended up in a love hotel, and you get a call back to the previous season of when they were there, and it's Marion's like, no, it's not gonna be like that this time around. I'm actually gonna I actually rented an actual studio, proper studio this time. And I love how more flirty Marine is now with Gojo, as she tries to have Gojo give Gojo a pokey, but instead of like giving him like an actual whole stick, she goes in and tries to get him to bite the other end of hers, and it's like, just kidding, pretty nice, like just seeing how much more comfortable Marin is getting teasing Gojo and stuff. And then Noble comes in. She comes in and she starts seeing how Marin is kind of being more friendly, more flirtatious with Gojo, and now kind of starts putting things in her own head, like, you can see that wheels are turning. Maybe she's thinking that they could possibly be dating and stuff. And then we have Gojo ask Marine to come over to his house. So Marine is pretty much freaking out, because this is the first time that properly that Gojo has explicitly said like, hey, I need you to come over real quick. And at first she thinks it's like for something completely not related to cosplaying. And when she arrives, like, of course it's about this, and it's because Gojo couldn't figure out how to get the bunny suit from falling from the breasts. And it was like Gojo didn't realize that uh, they needed something else, and they go into the store to try to get this like straps for it so that it could hold them together. And I do like that the gentleman that, or like the old man that was in the store, kind of looked at Gojo kind of funny when he asked like where they are, and he was like, where the bunny suits are, and or showed him the picture of the bunny suits. And it was like, oh, I guess all the young people are into anything this type of day. So like he was very old school mentality, where like he couldn't fathom a boy asking about the bunny suit outfit and putting it on himself. So, but once he saw Marin's like, oh, I'm sorry for misjudging you like that. Funny stuff. Um, but then they come to realize that there's actually more to the bunny suit than they originally thought. Which Gojo's like, oh, shoot, I didn't really like do my research this time. Like usually whenever I have questions or I don't know anything, I usually Google or research what it is that I need for this to create a certain type of fabrics needed. And I gotta say, it was fun. It was not. It was funny seeing Gojo kind of lament that, and also like you could really see how much care he puts into his craft, where he he puts himself down like, oh, I'm so stupid. I should have known better. Like he realized then and there that he was being full of himself because all his other cosplays have been so perfect that he figured like this is the one. This one seems pretty simple. It wouldn't need that much work to it. And turns out because he didn't research some of the things he thought he knew about it, it ended up not coming as perfectly as he thought. So I think this is very good for Gojo's growth, and also realizing coming to realize that everything moving forward should always be properly researched so that he they don't run into this problem again. And yeah, I really also am enjoying the fact that even after all this happens, and they also have like a bit of mishap where prior to going to the store where like Gojo accidentally saw Marin try on the bunny suit, but the problem was he saw the underwear and he completely got flustered, and Marin was like, it's okay, you know, you've already seen me in my swimsuit, it's fine, it's basically the same thing. And of course Gojo being the a 15-year-old boy, this kind of like riled him up a bit more than he anticipated it would. And then we have the same issue happen at when they were like doing their photo shoot finally, where Marin was wearing some wearing stockings, and Gojo can't seem to fathom the fact that she isn't actually wearing those because it looks just like bare skin. So he's still getting a bit riled up, and he's losing focus. Like just simple movements Marine makes make him think of other things that are that a 15-year-old boy would. And I love that the narrator points that out in this episode, where it's like he's just a 15-year-old boy. So to him, this is kind of like ecstasy, or kind of like really riling him up, and he is unable to actually focus on taking the actual shoot. But aside from that, I love that this episode later ends with a bit more inner perspective of Gojo and how he feels. And Marine invites him over to this Halloween party that they're holding with Noah and some of her other friends, and everybody's kind of like pointing out, "Oh, Marine, your makeup looks so good, and you really look like a different person when you're cosplaying." And Marine is like, "Yeah, my agency even doesn't even realize that it's me cosplaying." And then they ask him like, they ask Gojo like, "Hey, are you the one that does her makeup?" And this one guy was like, "Isn't that like kind of strange? You are a boy. Like typically boys don't necessarily know how to do makeup. So how do you know?" And then Gojo gets flashbacks to when Noah, the girl, his childhood friend, kind of put a remark on him that he's weird because he likes dolls and likes doing makeup of the dolls and stuff like that. Nothing like a boy would do his age. And lucky for him, he's instantly validated by another guy that's there, because he's like, "Oh, yeah, guys can do makeup. My brother's a makeup artist. He works with makeup all the time." And it's like, "Oh, that's so cool. Like, damn." So it takes a really nice amount of skill. So instant gratification for Gojo that he never really experienced. So you get to see him kind of think about that, like, hey, usually people find me weird. Like, people that, like, I'm not used to people actually acknowledging my skills in this. I'm not actually, I actually don't know how to handle being praised by something somebody else found weird once in my childhood. So for Gojo, this is a whole new experience, a new first. And I like that Marine's the one that's first. Marine was the one that acknowledged his skill and really made Gojo comfortable with liking things. And now it's her friends are also validating Gojo for the things he likes to do. So it's really interesting that now Gojo is like, maybe it's not so creepy after all. Now he can really focus on not caring what people necessarily think, but being accepting of his own individuality and his own likes. And then we have the end of the episode where Nova just kind of straight up asks if Gojo and Marin are dating. So, really great way to start off the season for my dress up darling. I think I'm giving it a 8 out of 10. Really great stuff.